Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Shane Dawson's chart. We're going to see basically why Shane is the way he is. So we obviously don't have a birth time, but we do have a decent amount of information with what we're currently provided with. So let's just go ahead and look at a few things. Obviously, the first thing we all know is that Shane is a Cancer. He's super sensitive, super nurturing, super protective, super emotional. He wears his heart on his sleeve. That's how Cancers are. They're very protective. They're overprotective of their loved ones and the things they care about. This is why he's so easy to get one over on. This is why he's always nervous, and this is why he stays in his house and doesn't leave. They're homebodies. This is why he creates a family-like environment around him. This is why he has a squad of people around him. The friend group that he has. This is why he treats everyone like family. They're family-oriented. This is why he has the boyfriend in the house and the dogs and the white picket fence. That's Cancer energy. And they're very, very sensitive, sometimes overtly sensitive. This is why he cries all the time. This is why he's very much, sometimes doesn't handle criticism the best. And this is also why he's so good at creating the documentary series that he created, because he genuinely cares about people and he genuinely wants to elicit an emotional reaction that is beneficial to everyone. He's able to help people bare their soul. The problem with Cancer energy is that it's pussy as fuck. So when we have the sun in Cancer, and we'll get into his Mars placement a little bit, but when we have the sun in Cancer, these people sometimes don't assert themselves in the way that they need to. And they sometimes have boundary issues where they let other people permeate their boundaries. Cancer's like mommy, and mommy just wants to make you feel better, buy you food, cook you food, that they want to nurture you and take care of you. And so sometimes if somebody is overly sensitive or crying, that's why he's an easy target. He's gullible. We also sometimes see Cancers nurturing people to the point where they're excusing their behavior. So, kind of what happened with him and Tana. I'm not surprised. Too much Cancer energy between the two of them. It was inevitable. However, it does make him very vulnerable, and it allows him to teach us the power of vulnerability. Sailor Moon is a Cancer, and she literally teaches us our strength in our vulnerability. And that's honestly what Shane is so good at. I just saw an orb fly across the screen. So iconic. It literally went like this. Anyways, Shane is very good at showcasing his vulnerability and wearing his heart on his sleeve and finding the strength in that, where he's not afraid to be sensitive, and he wants other people to feel that as well. You know a lot about Cancers, so I don't need to go super in depth with that. However, let's go into his moon placement. So his moon placement is a problem for me. The reason why his moon placement is a problem is because moon in Libra is a people-pleasing placement. Now, moon in Libra is the most needy of all moon signs, even more needy than a Cancer moon. The moon in Libra does not like to do things alone. They like to connect with other people. They like to do things as a unit, as a group, as a partnership. They are inherently insecure, and they find their security through their friends or the people they care about. And they have to learn to put themselves first, because they're going to self-sacrifice to where they put everyone else before them. They put others' needs before them. They struggle with being emotionally independent. They struggle with allowing themselves to assert their dominance or their emotional sort of needs. They let things happen. And while this is great for working with other people, because it means that you truly understand what each person around you feels, you'll truly understand this person is good at this person is good at that, I'm good at this. Sometimes they don't realize what they're good at. And sometimes they don't remember that they're important. They're so worried about helping everyone around them that they forget to help themselves. And what every moon in Libra needs to understand, especially Shane, is that there is a strength in vulnerability. Yes, but there's also a strength in leading, and you lead by example. So the example you set, if it's shit, that's why you get shit. If you lead an example of I'm gullible, I let people walk all over me, then that's what you get. And we also see the moon in Libra oftentimes stuck in a situation where I've done all this for you, so I expect you to do the same. And then they're let down consistently because they're overtly giving nature. They expect other people to be overtly giving, but they're not. Not everyone is like that. They also have a hard time believing that people would be selfish, but I got news for you. They are. This is an opposite moon placement of myself. So, fun fact, you know how everyone is always like, oh, Ant, you know, you'd be really good if you were like with Shane and like helping him and stuff. You guys picked up on the moon placement. I have the exact opposite moon. I'm moon in Aries. He's moon in Libra. So in terms of a strength of like a duo or some sort of like interview process, that's what you picked up on. The moon in Aries versus the moon in Libra. I'm able to assert myself where he can't. Meanwhile, he's able to pinpoint other things about other people that I wouldn't be able to. So remember, Aries is like dominance and independence, and Libra is like partnerships and balance. So when we have the moon in Libra, you need to be careful. He needs to be careful about giving too much too quickly. And then also, if they feel like they're not needed, they get insecure. He needs to feel needed. He needs to have people around him who need him, and he needs to feel useful. And if he's not reassured of his place, he goes crazy. This is the people that text you 400 times. Do you care about me still? What are you doing? Oh my god. They get insecure because they feel like they're not reassured. If you ignored a moon in Libra, it would destroy them. Abandonment issues plague them because they want you to just reassure them that you care, that you're thinking of them. It's very important to have that connection. Now, Mercury is in Cancer. Shocker. Mercury is our communication. What have I said since day one about Shane? He's too emotionally connected sometimes when he needs to be a bit more analytical. Mercury in Cancer communicates through their emotions and feelings. How did this make you feel? How did this make other people feel? This is why his empathy is so great, and his empathy is off the charts. Cool, that's great. For TanaCon, that was fantastic. But when confronting Tana, you do not, and Shane does not have the ability to do that. Mercury's in Cancer. He doesn't have the ability to communicate the way that's necessary. He cannot separate emotion from communication. He doesn't know how, and he never will be. That's a beautiful gift and a strength that he is using in his documentary series. But if he's going to confront people, he needs someone else. All of the people in his squad are not it. He needs someone else. He needs someone who's a straight shooter, who pinpoints directly. He needs someone, and I'm not saying this because of me, but like me, where someone can just grab it and just pull it out. Shane can't do that. Jeffrey is actually a fantastic example of someone who would be great in tandem with him. Jeffrey would be an amazing choice because Jeffrey is a Scorpio and Jeffrey has the ability to pinpoint shit. Jeffrey understands what someone's going to do before they fucking do it. And so with that, it's no surprise that would be a great pairing. And that's no surprise that they're friends, by the way. Scorpio and Cancer, they're going to connect on their emotions. But Jeffrey also has a way of because he's got Scorpio in him, to just grab at it. So Jeffrey is actually a great example. You're right. The other thing I want to mention is that Mercury in Cancer is why so many people like him. Because when he communicates, it's authentic. It's only if he doesn't feel something is right in his heart of hearts, if he doesn't feel like it's genuine, he won't do it, and he won't talk about it, he won't connect with it. That's why he's genuine. That's why he's successful. That's why he's like daddy, because he's able to nurture and be a parental-like figure. Cancer and Capricorn, mom and dad, either or, they're opposites, but they're both very, very parental. And with Mercury in Cancer, it's also why he's able to truly sort of permeate people's emotions. He knows what to say to get a reaction, which is good. Good content. I mean, that's why he's a good content creator. Now, Venus is in Gemini. So we are going to get a little bit of tea on him. I've already done readings on him and Ryland's relationship. I don't care what they do in their relationship, but I've done readings on it. I did it a year ago, and I did it again, and they're the same cards. You'll have to click that reading that I did on them on my website, Antphrodite.com. But the Venus in Gemini makes a lot of sense. So Venus is love, beauty, and relationship, and Gemini has a hard time settling down. They like their opportunities because they want things to make sense. So cool, that's great. But when they do commit, sometimes the person they commit to ends up being Gemini-like. Flighty, flaky, a wordsmith, talks too much, scatterbrained, could be a little bit annoying, has a hard time settling down on one thing. That could manifest in their partner. Because Venus in Gemini likes Gemini-like energy, which hopefully from a high-functioning standpoint is intelligent, articulate, smart, funny, witty, entertaining. Smart, funny, witty, entertaining. He's with a Taurus. So they need to work on that, because if his Venus is in Gemini, now obviously we don't have his full chart, so maybe it's in a different house that could maybe help this, but I'm a little bit concerned about the Venus in Gemini with a Taurus, because Taurus is very slow and steady, wins the race, and very much like routine based. And if the Venus is in Gemini, I'm a little bit concerned about wandering eyes for both of them. I'm a little bit concerned about people only being stimulated half of the time. It's a bit of a concern for me. It is. Now, Mars is passion, sex, aggression, and Mars is in Aries. So here is one of the biggest issues that Shane has. So Aries is aggressive, impulsive, spontaneous, and bold, which is why he was able to put himself out there, right? That's why he's able to be a content creator. But when Shane is angry, and I'm sure Ryland is probably the only person that has seen this, or some of his exes, when Shane's angry, Shane is going to be selfish as fuck. When he's angry, he's going to only care about himself. He's going to be very selfish. He's going to do whatever he wants, and he's not going to care. So there is a part of him when he's super angry that is very selfish and self-centered and focused on only himself and the things that impact him. He's a leader. Mars in Aries is a leader. So Mars in Aries is going to lead the pack. And if you piss them off, they'll lead the pack away from you. So understand that. Now, when Mars in Aries is super irate, they are prone towards physical aggression. So they do need to be careful with that. Him working out is a great tool to exert energy. It's also a lot of the reasons why he had a lot of sexual exploration, because sex is Mars is sex, and Aries is, like a child. It's like the baby of the zodiac. So when Mars in Aries, it likes to sort of try everything once in terms of like, what does this do? Ooh, what is this? I want to try this. How does this? And they're usually doing it on themselves. It's Aries selfish. It's not in an Aquarius way where they'll try anything to see if they like it. It's more along the lines of, ooh, let me experiment. And they're impulsive. This also is a reason why he rubs people sometimes the wrong way, because Mars in Aries doesn't think, it acts. They're a little bit of a tornado. So when Mars in Aries does something, sometimes he'll piss someone off, and he's a bit of a pussy. So like when Mars is in Aries and he accidentally pushes a button, he's like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So that's why he's going to accidentally button push. And he really just like, that's the Energizer Bunny, okay? That's how Mars in Aries is. It's like, that's why he's so high energy. Aries energy is like that. It's like restless. Think of Julie and Solomita. It's like that. It's like, oh my God, I need to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And he can get like that sometimes, which will annoy people. Also, the Mars in Aries is the reason why he's a fucking tornado, like Jenna says, for Julian, a tornado in his environments. That's why he just knocks things around and he just picks things up and he pushes everything around and everything goes crazy and stuff is flying and he's knocking this and his house is a mess and everything is all over the place and there's a fucking thing on the floor and this is over here, because they're like children where they're just like, oops, made a mess. Like that's how it is. They definitely pout. They definitely whine. They throw temper tantrums. And they act like babies sometimes. It happens. We all have our things in our chart, so it's not just him that has things like this. It's all of them. Everyone, all of us. We all have shit like this. And let me tell you something. I got a moon in Aries. Okay? So I'm familiar with temper tantrums, bitch. Me too, the fake. Now, the other thing about Mars and Aries, he is dominant in the bedroom. I know a lot of people think he's not, but he's telling you the truth. Mars and Aries is dominant in the bedroom. Yeah. And they're like not afraid to be aggressive. So if they wanted to be physical, they do that. They're also like the Energizer Bunny where they're like boom, 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 bang, boom, 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 bang, boom, 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 bang. You know, like they like to go a million times. It's probably why he's addicted to porn and stuff like that. Because like they just keep, whatever. Anyways, Jupiter's in Taurus. So dealing with money is actually a good thing for him. Jupiter's luck and expansion. We also see Jupiter in Taurus, meaning like slow and steady wins the race. So for him, he benefits from a bit of a slowing down, which again, he's with a Taurus. So I understand the aspect of that where there's parts of his boyfriend he can learn from with that Jupiter in Taurus. The only issue is that the power dynamic between the two of them is not where it needs to be for any of that to really be substantially impactful on him. But anyways, with Jupiter and Taurus, he just needs to know that for him, it's a slow, steady incline, which has always been in his career. And that's really something he needs to understand. He also does kind of have to work harder than other people. It sucks, but I mean, that's what he has to do. That's his lesson that he's learning this life, is that hard work pays off. And actually, funny thing about this this chart, his video with Kathy Griffin, she mentioned that. She connected the two of them. She's like, you're like me, where you have to prove yourself and do it on your own and work hard. As I said, we don't have his birth time, so I can't go over where Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are placed, obviously, and they're generational. Basically, they're too far away to really have a personal impact on him. But his North Node is in Pisces, and it should shock no one. North Node is our life path, and Pisces is all about helping people. It's a humanitarian placement. They care about the environment. They care about humans. They care about the underdog. They care about animals. They care about children. They care about charities. They care about helping other people. If he didn't have an emotional impact on people that benefited them and saved them, he's got a savior complex. If he didn't have that, he'd be miserable. He's already using that. Now, the savior complex is why he gets in trouble sometimes, but he definitely has a knack for sort of pulling potential out of people. It's Pisces energy. They see the potential in things and they're able to sort of take the diamond in the rough and shine it, and make it seem beautiful again. I just want him to be careful about absorbing other people's shit and trying to heal them and then not releasing it and being taken advantage of, because North Node and Pisces does that. I also want him to not get stuck in fantasies and what ifs and potentials, which is why he has a Jupiter in Taurus, to make him really understand tangible results. He also needs to be a little bit more conscious of money. And when the last two things I will say about his North Node and Pisces is that you will see Shane create a charity at some point, an organization. It's going to happen. With North Node and Pisces, he's going to end up making something. He's going to make a foundation at some point. He's able to heal other people through his own pain. So that's North Node and Pisces for you. So Shane's doing that. Like I said before, healer placements are usually psychics, mediums, doctors, therapists, or comedians. Shane's a comedian. So there's a lot of North Node and Pisces who end up being comedians. So it doesn't surprise me. So my only thing that I need Shane to understand is he's all bark, no bite, and he needs someone who's bark and bite. So Shane, if you ever see this, hit me up and I will teach you a lot. and help you with some of your dominant needs. Does anybody have any questions?